Hello and welcome back to our Fm22 Journeyman with Barnsley FC, where we attempt to go from non-league football to winning the Champions League. So after Sunday's fantastic end to our second season in charge, we are back today for the season review and the transfers heading into the Premiership. Before we begin though guys, if you do enjoy the content, you want to follow along with the series, please do hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers and it would really be appreciated. So first up, we're going to have a look at the best 11 squad, which is the first email that's come up, and I'm pretty surprised to see straight away we've only got 3 players added to the team. The reason that surprised me more than anything is we've just won the championship. Yeah, it wasn't the most emphatic win. We left it very late. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch Sunday's episode, which was the last episode on the channel. It is a pretty good one. So having only 3 players added, it seems like a bit of a weird one. So we've got Joe Worrell, Kleimunchuk and Godwin Malief added. Secondly, what's surprising, Kleimunchuk not actually in the starting 11. I don't know who's choosing this starting 11, but they are wrong. The start 11 now is Brad Collins, who was with us at the start. We've got Williams, Worrell, Heilich, who's never been to the club, Anderson, never here since we were here, and Britton. Britton still being in there over Godwin Malief seems like a weird one. We've then got Offerboru and Palmer in midfield. Again, either of those still there when Oakley Booth's been in fantastic form, when Blinkhorn's been really good. It surprises me. Odor out on the left, yeah, I could see that. Bakuna on the right, yeah, he's had a decent season. Woodrow remaining up front when Kleimunchuk is on the subs bench, that I don't get. Woodrow, I mean, if we're having a look since he's been at Barnsley, his best season, his top goal season, he scored 15. He had 2 seasons in a row where he scored 15. He's never got over a 7 rating. Kleimunchuk should be in the starting 11. Whoever chose that is wrong. Now on to the end of season review though for the 25-26 season. First up, of course, is the new arrivals. Busy season in the transfer market. Yep, fair enough. I completely agree with that. We brought in Ed Malayon from Man City. He came in the January transfer window on loan. 11 appearances, 6 goals and 5 assists. I think that's a pretty good return on a loanee that we didn't pay any money for. Definitely helped us towards the end of the season. Great contribution. I'd love to have him in the side next season as well, if that's something we can negotiate with Man City. Braithwaite, who I've been calling Braithwaite for the entire season, 23-year-old centre-back from Everton. £350,000 we paid to get him over here. 33 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists, 7.21 rating. He's been really good. He is one we brought in as well because hopefully Premier League quality. So hopefully he can develop and improve over the next season as well. Jake Cooper came from Wolves. 650,000, so a bit more expensive, but again, 31 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, 7.18 rating, and he hasn't even been a starter really. Tom Holmes came in, 26-year-old powerful centre-back from Crystal Palace. £7 million we paid for Tom Holmes in January. He made 15 appearances, 7.18 rating. Again, he's hopefully one that can just develop that little bit further and still be good enough to play in the Premier League. And Golo we brought in, obviously he's not played a lot of games. He made a couple of appearances, nothing too special. I don't think now we've got promoted he will be good enough. I mean, let's have a quick look at him on the report. Expected to be a championship standard, so not even a leading championship standard, so I don't think he will now be good enough. Wilfred Gnonto, obviously from Man City, been playing out on the left for us. Another loanee, 42 appearances, 13 goals, 8 assists. It's a very good season for him. Again, it's another one I do want to bring back to the club next season. If I can choose one of the two, I think Gnonto would be the one that I would bring back. Alfie Mawson, a 32-year-old centre-back from Fulham. We paid 240,000 for him. He's been consistent when we've needed him. We've then got to Lino Caston, a 25-year-old goalkeeper we bought in from Wolfsburg for £28,000, which is an absolute steal. He got 11 appearances, the bit we always want to have a look at for the goalkeeper. He made 9 appearances in the league and he conceded 14 goals. He was all right. He's reasonable in between the sticks, if not fantastic. John Blinkhorn then from Bradford City coming over for 2.1 million. 38 appearances this season. 1 goal, 4 assists. He's been ever present in that midfield. He's done a pretty good job, I think. We can see as well, for having a look at his report, he's currently on 3.5 stars and a championship player. but he has potential to go to that full 5 stars and be Premier League standard. So we are going to be continuing to start him in our first choice 11 next season. We've also got Miguel Salgado. We bought him for 975,000. He's made a couple of appearances, one for the future, one we'll probably end up selling for profit, I'd imagine. George Jenkins, our most expensive signing at 14.25 million. He hasn't quite had the impact I hoped he would. 10 appearances, he has scored 4 goals and made 2 assists. He just hasn't been quite as good as our couple of other strikers. But again, potential to be Premier League standard. Maybe next season will be his breakout season. Who knows? Joe Adams from Hearts for 200,000 as well. He's just been a good backup player. I don't think he's one that's going to be good enough for the Premier League though. We've then got Andros Inuai, who's come over from Derby. He's only 20 years old, 7.25 million. He's been played 13 games. He's been working as our deep lying playmaker in midfield, and I think that is probably where he's likely to stay. Again, potential to be Premier League standard, so I think we continue starting him even though he's championship quality at the moment. Braderick we bought in obviously as our left wing back. He then transitioned into a left back. He hasn't had the best of seasons, to be honest. The board aren't very happy with that signing. I think it was reasonable for what we needed, but he kind of started off really well and then fizzled out. Hugo Bertelli from Marseille for 100,000. He's made 1 sub appearance. He probably won't make another one for the club. I think he's one we will sell on as soon as we get a reasonable bid for him. We then got Derek Adru, who we bought from Chelsea for £18,000. We will definitely make a profit on him, but again, he's not one that had a very, very good season. 6.43 in his first 6 appearances, and then we did have to drop him because he just wasn't good enough and was dragging the rest of the team down. Transfers out, then we've had Hassan Smith, who never really played for us. He's gone to South Shields on a free. Liam Kitching to Birmingham for 1.1 million. Ramal Palmer gone to Reading for 6.75 million. How does it feel? We got automatically promoted. You guys are in the playoffs. Aidan Marsh, a 23-year-old striker, gone to Ross County. Austin gone to Monaco. Luke McCohen gone to Inverness. Tom Pearce obviously went to QPR. We then got Roland Aarons to Derby. We've got Bozanic gone over to Colo Colo. He's made 10 appearances and 8 goals this season, so he's been reasonable there for them. Kohasi to St Trinidad. He's made 17 appearances and nothing too big. I've just realised that our striker went over to Blythe Spartans, so we're still helping that team out. Izzy Brown has gone over to Bristol City for 1.3 million. Julius Kroner went to Brentford for 6.5 million. We've then obviously got Zel Zeko, who's been back on loan but is leaving to go to Brighton. Joe Ackroyd, I don't think has been playing anywhere. Perry Moss, we've got some other ones, and Joseph Anang that's gone to Man United. Has he actually played any games yet? He has not played any games yet. He's just there warming their bench. Season to remember then. So looking at the 2 cups, nothing very good. I mean, we started off pretty poorly in the Carabao Cup. We were meant to reach the 3rd round. We got knocked out by Salford City in the 1st round. We'll just forget about that one, shall we? FA Cup, pretty much the same thing. We got knocked out in the 1st round, albeit against Crystal Palace, who obviously are a Premier League side, and we are in the Championship. But they beat us as well, so we got knocked out of the first attempt of the FA Cup. But the league, which is the most important one, we were expected to finish top half by the board. We finished 1st. Our home attendance is now 76%, so hopefully that will get to a full 100% next season. Clyde Munchak scoring 29 goals. I mean, the board are giving us an A+. How could they give us anything else, really? Biggest win then is a 5-0 win against Stoke, which happened back in December. We've got the match to remember, which was against Middlesbrough. Can't remember if that was on the channel or not. I think it actually was. And then goal of the season goes to Bozanic. But I'm not going to know which one of these 2 goals it is against Charlton, so we might have to watch both of them. So here's the first goal. Sarmiento getting into the box here, crosses back to Woodrow. Bozanic just kind of heads it home. I assume it's not that goal, because that should not be goal of the season. We're not going to see the second one then. Helpful stuff. 47th minute goal then from the opposite end. Angola over to Bakuna to Woodrow. Bozanic from outside the box. That looks more like goal of the season to me. Absolute screamer. Although Clyde Munchak, I think, did a very similar goal. So, yeah, goal of the season, but it wasn't anything over special, I'd say. Surprisingly, the finances haven't been that good. Successful season on the pitch, we're told, but the club's finances haven't improved. The club reputation hasn't improved either. Sponsorship was a little bit better, but nothing too different. Broadcast revenue we actually had less of, which is surprising when we've done better in the league, but okay. Corporate and hospitality really made a little bit more on. Competition prize money is a biggish drop because we didn't earn any this year because we didn't get past the first round in either of our cups. So that one's got to go down to the manager, I guess. Matchday commercial and retail made a bit more. And we've sold some shirts. Munchuk, unsurprisingly, the top shirt seller, followed by Bakuna, Blinkhorn, Jenkins, and Inui. Best 11 for the year, then. It does still have us with the 5 at the back because we played that, I guess, for most of the season. That would be the following lineup. Zingirl in goal, back 3 of Worrell, Cooper, and Braithwaite. And got Braderick and Godwin Malif over on both wings. Oxley, Booth and Blinkhorn in midfield, which was the partnership for a good part of the season. Nonto on the left wing with Bakun on the right and Munchuk up front. Look at his rating. That is disgusting. A 7.55 rating for Munchuk. Absolutely disgusting. We won Manager of the Month for April. Club Awards then. Fans Player of the Season. This is an unsurprising one. Munchuk. Young Player of the Season is Munchuk. Signing of the season goes to Tom Holmes. Goal of the season we just saw. Top goal scorer is Munchuk as well with 30 goals. Bakuna with 10 assists. Most player of the match awards. Again, unsurprisingly, Munchuk with 7. Highest average rating, unsurprisingly, Munchuk with 7.5. We've then got our record breakers, most overall goals by a player in a season, unsurprisingly, Munchuk with 30. Most goals by a player in a match, unsurprisingly, Munchuk with 4. Most goals by a player in a league match, unsurprisingly, Munchuk with 4. We've then got the most clean sheets by player in a season is Zingirl with 15. Munchuk, again, most player of the match awards. We've just read that one. Highest transfer fee paid is for George Jenkins, our 20-year-old striker, with 14.25 million. And the highest transfer fee received is Ramal Parmo, went over to Reading, you'll remember, for 6.75 million. Move on to the league. Oh, look, we got a trophy because, spoilers, if you watched last episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. We didn't actually get a trophy. Let's go through the rest of the emails that are interesting though. Club vision expectation meetings. We always try and negotiate these. So what do they want from us? Develop players using the club's youth system. Yeah, we've been doing that, so that's fine. Play entertaining football. Might be a bit more difficult in the Premiership. High tempo pressing football. We're going to attempt to continue doing. Don't sign players over the age of 30. No problem. Sign players under the age of 20 for the future. Maybe a little bit more of a problem because we do need to strengthen the first team. Play defensively solid football. Can we get rid of you? Play possession football? Yeah, I can live with that. Work within the wage budget and a minimum of 2-year contracts for first team players is the 5-year plan, both of which seem reasonable. They just want us to fight bravely against the relegation in the Premier League in our first season, and then from there it's just, can we continue remaining in the Premier League? They still want us to play defensively solid football. Can we just keep getting rid of it? No. What's the point of ever allowing you into negotiation? Because 9 times out of 10, they won't let you change anything either. These dynamics are slightly concerning because I'm looking at my team leaders, and that's Woodrow and Britton, and I don't think either of those guys will be here next season. They definitely won't be playing a big role. Neither of them have played a big role this season. We do need to talk to the team as well. This is always a fun one because sometimes they react how you think they will. And sometimes, I mean, let's tell them we're good enough to avoid being drawn into a relegation battle. Oh, they all dislike that. Oh, no. Let's just back down on that one. They're still all upset. Yeah, this is why I don't like these, because no matter what you do, it doesn't tend to be right. I'm not going to discuss any promises now. Go away, have a break, get out of my sight, get out of my office or wherever we are. Whatever I do, you're not happy with what I say. Interesting here from the assistant manager, this is what he thinks is our best 11, because Williams definitely not the best on that side. He is the best on performance, so maybe. Godwin Malif, yeah, that's all fine. Offaboru, possibly not. Blinkhorn, Bakuna, Notto, Sarmiento on that right-hand side. I mean, all of these things don't particularly work. We can go on a training camp though. Where are we going to go? Portugal, we've got Spain. We could just go to Yorkshire. Doesn't seem quite as exotic. Netherlands, France. I like France. We're going to go there. Harris just got sacked by Exeter. Interesting. That only comes up because I follow Exeter on here because they are my kind of birthplace team. What we do need to do now is sort of go away and do the transfers. But before we do that, we're going to have a look at my lovely spreadsheet. And here is my lovely spreadsheet. It's a simple thing that I use. It's on my Google Drive just to track who I've got coming in and out of the team, where my gaps are. And normally I would have it all highlighted, as you can see over here as well, with what playing time they expect to have, but I just haven't done that yet. I quickly popped this together earlier because I update it in between every season. You'll be able to see by these player roles as well that I'm looking at playing a 4-3-3 next season, because I don't think you play with two up front in the Premier League when you've just got promoted. I think you do want to have that defensive midfielder to at least just protect your back four. I don't want to be going up against, I think I said last episode, the likes of Man City and Liverpool, playing with two strikers up top and no one defending my back line, because I think that's just a recipe for conceding 96 goals against Man City. But if we're having a look at this, we have got some gaps in the side. So we've got Caston, who's still here. Zingerl wants to leave though, and we kind of said that he can. We weren't expecting to get promoted at the time I said that. So he'll be going. At the moment, that kind of leaves us with Caston in goal. So we need at least one goalkeeper, preferably a Premier League quality goalkeeper, to go there. But we need one, probably two, to make sure we've got enough goalkeepers. Wing back role, so on our left back position, we've kind of got Braderick. I don't think Williams is good enough, so we need someone there, preferably a first team player. In defence, we've got Brantford with Worrell, Holmes, Morsone and Cooper. Ideally, Holmes is probably going to be good enough for the Premier League, but maybe not. So ideally, we want someone that's a first-team player to go alongside Brantford. It's the same as in the right-back position. Godwin Malif will be okay. Adu's got the potential, but also plays awfully when we put him in the team. So I don't think he's ready for the Premier League. So we probably need a first-choice player to go in that wing-back position there, so on the right-hand side. We then need a ball-winning midfielder to play in front of the front four. We've got Offaboru. He wants to leave, and we don't really have anyone else that can play there. In midfield, we will be starting with Blinkhorn and Inouye. That's just because they're both Premier League quality, and I think they need that game time. We're going to give it to them. If we could get a couple more bodies to fill in behind them, that'd be great. We've currently got Oakley Booth. Offaboru obviously can play there. Bakuna can play there as well. Out on the right-hand side at the moment is a winger role, but could change. We've got Bakuna and Salgado. I don't think Salgado is ready for the Premier League. Bakuna isn't either, but I think he'll be okay. And I'm hoping we keep Winonto over to play on the left-hand side, but we could do with some backup for him. Then our striker roles, we've got Kleimanchuk and we've got Jenkins. If we can get a third player in there, great. Anyone that isn't on this list is either players that I think are leaving or players that I don't think are good enough to play in the side. And those will all be sold out of the club to bring us in some better players that hopefully mean we can survive the Premier League. That said, we are very aware there is no guarantee of that this season. So finances wise, we have got £34 million in the bank. Guaranteed budget of for next season of 17.3 million. That's interesting to know that already. And £178,000 wage budget. We've already offered Kleimanchuk a new contract. Hopefully he stays. But for now, we need to go and flesh out the rest of the team. So I'll be back in a moment with the transfers for next season. Right. Been a long transfer window. So we have now arrived at the 15th of August, which is the first day of the Premier League season. So we now need to go through the transfers we've done in order to hopefully keep us there. You can see we've got a few outs on this page, lots and lots of ins. We have tried to vastly improve this squad. And I forgot, the moment you hit the Premier League, you start paying Premier League prices. Some of these players are very, very expensive. We'll have a look at the outs first. We've got Sarmiento is actually gone over in a bit of a weird one to Barcelona, but not that one. He's in Ecuador. I don't know why there's a Barcelona there. I can only assume, given the badge, they are some affiliation of the Barcelona, i.e. the one in Spain. But he's going to spend the season out on loan there. Angolo is also out on loan. He's a bit more local. He's at Walsall at the moment, going to be there for the season. And Casey Causey, who's a potentially good centre-back for the future, is currently out on loan at Torquay. So all just getting a little bit of game time. So as we can see, actually no real transfers in that first half of the transfer window. But lots and lots of ins. So we'll just go from the top and work our way down. We've got Nono Manduke. I assume that's how we say his name. Noni Manduke? We don't know. We've actually brought him over from Leeds. Leeds played 20.5 million 2 seasons ago to bring him over to the Premier League from PSV. He's only actually ever played 8 games for them, which is obscene when you look at the price they paid for him. They're willing to sell him to us, and I think he is going to be good for us. He is a championship player at the moment, but potentially be a good Premier League player, and we needed someone out on this right wing. We've been trying to improve that the entirety of last season, and we definitely needed it going into the Premier League. Hopefully he can realise some of that potential this season and improve a little bit more. But look at some of this. I mean, 17 dribbling, 15 first touch, 15 for technique. His pace isn't blistering, but it's pretty decent. I think he's going to be a very welcomed addition, and if we do need him, he's got some versatility to play elsewhere on the pitch as well. We've then brought in Djabel Fandji Touré. We're just going to call him Touré. He's come over, I believe it was from Nice in France. He was on loan at Lorient in Lower League France last season. We've paid 3.7 million for him. He's Sky Bet League 1 at the moment, but again, another player who does have decent Premier League potential. He can play on the left, he can play on the right hand, he can play up front. He's maybe not completely first team ready yet, but I think he'd be nice as a sort of squad depth option. We definitely didn't have the money to be going in and bringing in lots of Premier League ready, first team ready players, so we've kind of had to go down this route, which is just bringing in some players that maybe aren't quite ready yet. That said, Nathan Collins, £450,000 over from Burnley. Championship player, again, could improve to a Premier League player. If nothing else, he's going to give us some decent squad depth in that central defensive area. We've not really paid a huge amount of money for him either, which is always nice. We've then got Alibian Hajdari. He, again, will be one for the future. A current championship player with decent Premier League potential. He is a centre-back. We brought him in from Nancy for 2.9 million, so they made a very small profit on him. May not play a huge role this season, but definitely will in the seasons to come, I think. Jaden Bogle's come over to play on the right-hand side of our defence as well. We have brought him in from Huddersfield. They paid 650,000 for him last season. He played out his season in the Championship. We've brought him in for £2 million for that money. Again, perfectly capable. He's not a Premier League quality player, but I'm not expecting our entire team to be Premier League quality players this season. There are going to be some Championship players in there. Ivor Pandor being brought in as a backup goalkeeper. He's Croatian. He's reasonable. 12 appearances, 16 conceded last season for Venezia in Serie A. We paid 220,000 for him. He's very much a backup goalkeeper that's there if someone else gets injured. We've also brought in this guy, another centre-back, Andrew Omodambieli. I'm never ever going to be able to say this guy's name. Omobamideli. I don't know. We're going to change his name. Anyone who watched the start of the channel and the Bath City save will remember Alan or maybe Steve. This may be another player that gets renamed. But having a look at him, we've paid a bit of money for him. 8.75 million to bring him over from Everton. He only played 1 game there. What are all these teams doing? 15.5 million pounds spent. He played 1 game, and then they sold him to us for 8.75 million. I think it could turn out to be a really, really good deal. Again, Championship player, but could be decent Premier League player. He's probably going to be in the starting 11, I think, for the first match of the season. He's pretty well rounded in terms of being a central defender. He's got good heading, he's got good marking, he's got good jumping reach, decent strength, etc., so on and so forth. I think he'll be super important this season. We then brought in this guy, Spanish centre midfielder Mikel Asenola. I guess that'd be Asenola. 2.3 million from Schalke. He played a little bit of football there. Again, potential Premier League standard, current Championship standard player. You're kind of seeing the theme here, I think, if you've been watching this all the way through, of the players we've brought in. Lots more outs on this side. We're not going to go through all of them because some of them aren't all that important, but we'll have a look at the most important ones. Woodrow going over to Rotherham for 3.5 million. Been a really good servant to the club, but time for him to move on. Braderick, he's gone. He was a moany so-and-so and desperately wanted to leave. We've sold him for 2.7 million to some team in Croatia. It's a nice bit of money brought into the club. Callum Britton, another moany so-and-so that wanted to be a first team star player when he's a Sky Bet League 1 level quality. So that was never going to happen. We've sold him to Rotherham for 2.5 million. In fact, Rotherham bought 2 of our players because that's where Woodrow went as well. Hendricks has gone to Huddersfield for £775,000. We bought him in on a free, so we have made a bit of profit on him. He barely played for us. Just Van, another one who wanted to go. We bought him in on a free. We've now sold him over to Osnabrück in Germany for 650,000, so a bit more money made there. Alfie Mawson, yeah, he was really, really good last season. I was more than happy with him. We've made a bit of a profit on him. He wanted to leave, and we had players that I think are of a better quality now, so he's gone as well. That's it in terms of actual sales. And on the purchases side, we've got this guy, Pizzotto. He's a Mexican centre midfielder. We've got him on a free, and we've loaned him to Bristol City. I don't think he'll ever actually play a part for the squad, but we bought him in for a free, hopefully make a bit of money on him. And then this is probably the most obscene signing I've made in terms of money. £11 million for this guy, Max Ramsey. He's currently a Sky Bet League 1 standard player, but he has got really, really good potential to be a Premier League standard player and a high level at that as well. So we've purchased him from Celtic. He'll be definitely getting some game time this season. So that'll be it in terms of transfers. We have obviously got 2 matches to start off our Premier League campaign. They'll be in Thursday's episode. They are going to be against West Ham, which is a bit annoying in terms of the channel because they've just got promoted with us, so we've just seen games against them. And then against Burnley. Now, Burnley I thought would have been one of the lower teams, but actually I had a quick look at them. They've been slowly mounting a sort of charge towards the top of the Premier League. 13th, 8th, and last season 6th. In the Premier League, so maybe they're a slightly bigger team than I think they are. And then after that, lots and lots of mixed fixtures. We don't seem to have any massive ones close together. I say that Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City in consecutive games in December is quite a run, but that is definitely a future James problem. If you have enjoyed that episode, of course, please do drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel. If you hit the notification bell, YouTube tells you every time we upload, and you can follow along with the rest of this series and see how we do in the Premier League. Hopefully not get relegated, but we'll start having a look at that in Thursday's episode. Thank you very much for watching though, guys, and I will see you over for that one. But in the meantime, why not have a look at this video next?